Thank you all so much for clicking on this video today and visiting with me here on my channel, Heidi Samble DIY. I'm so grateful for each and every single one of you. I get asked all the time, what are my favorite organization supplies in my craft room and how do I keep things tidy? Now, if you missed my craft room tour of the actual room, I'm going to link that down below in the description box at the end of this video. And up first, we are going to talk about ribbon storage. I used to keep all of my ribbon in those large Rubbermaid tubs, and it was great, but the problem is that over time, you can't see the ribbon at the bottom of those tubs, and as you're adding to your ribbon collection, when you find things on sale, things at the bottom just aren't seen, and that would frustrate me so bad because I would have certain holidays and seasons I would be looking for. So I came up with this idea to take an old traditional shoe rack stand, and I found that the bars that the shoes rest on actually can have the ribbon holes slide onto them. Now, not every single ribbon hole will be able to slide onto it, but for the most part it works for almost every single ribbon holder, and you can see here that I have all different sizes of ribbon. I love doing it this way, and about every 6 months I unscrew one of the sides of this shoe stand, take off the empty containers and put it back on and together and stand it back up. Now, another way I used to organize my ribbon were with these ribbon stands that you can put on a wall from Joann's. I had 6 of them and they were beautiful, but the thing was I couldn't get that many ribbons on it, and it was also kind of tricky getting it on and off the wall. So I love the shoe stand because it makes it so much easier for me to be able to organize everything without, struggling getting it on and off the wall. Up next is IKEA storage. I love IKEA furniture units for my craft room. This is their Hutch. I love this thing. I actually have these all over my house in other areas. It's made out of real wood, and I feel that they are substantial pieces of furniture for an affordable cost. You're getting a high-end look without spending a ton of money, and I'm very grateful that IKEA does this Hutch with the upper shelves. Now, the door cabinets are soft close, and underneath they fit these large tubs, which are so awesome for storage. The next thing I really love, and I have 3 of these in my craft room, are these multiple drawer units. These are so great because you can see here that they're small enough to tuck underneath a table, but the drawers are long and deep. The first 2 top drawers are a little bit more shallow, as you can see here, where I've got a lot of my pin organizing pieces in here. But then on the bottom 3 drawers, they're deeper drawers. And I always think as I'm putting stuff inside of the drawers that it's not going to fit, and then when I push it closed, it fits somehow magically. I love these. I cannot say enough about them. They hold all of my craft tool supplies, and it's kind of funny, they're always sold out at IKEA, so sometimes you have to get on a waiting list to be able to get a hold of them. Up next is the PAX system. These are incredible. I will say trying to design it online on their website is very frustrating. Their website kind of lags, and I have really good internet speed at my house because of being on YouTube, but their website's really hard to design stuff on sometimes, so I do recommend going into an IKEA and working with a consultant they have there. But it's amazing because you can pick what shelves you want in each pack system, how deep you want them to be, and overall where you want drawers and supplies. The other cool thing that I have discovered is that these cabinets actually can fit in the large Rubbermaid bins without the lids on. So I just take the lids off and I slide them in, and it makes it where I can have so much storage for all of my craft supplies for all the different seasons. My number 1 asked question I always get all the time for my craft room is, what is that thing your flowers are on? I call this my flower tower. I used to work at trade shows years ago where I used to do scrapbooking conventions, and I owned my own scrapbook store. And one of the things I saw a lot that were used at conventions were the wire racks. They would put them together and disassemble them really quickly. And so one day when I was in my craft room, I was so frustrated that I had 8 bins of flowers. On top of it, they were all getting smashed and squished, and I just did not like the way my flowers were being taken care of. So I decided to try the wire racks. I found a triangle form, and what you do, because I have a lot of people, there's a couple people have purchased this, and they're like, how do you get the flowers to stick on? I take 2 zip ties, I zip tie them together on 2 of the bars, and then after those are zip tied, and I usually do about 20 on each one of these sides of my triangle. You can see here on this back side I haven't used this side yet. I then am able to put in a couple of flowers first to get it started. You can see that the stems get tucked behind the black bar and the flowers are sitting nicely in that first loop. Once you've got that amount of flowers, not a lot, you then can start using those to help build around it and tuck in the flowers. And then over time, you're able to put as many flowers on it as you would like. It is the greatest storage for flowers. Next is stacked organization. I love organization that goes vertically. I found these really affordable, they're all over the place, tiered can stacking trays. And a lot of people have them inside of their food storage pantries. It's really great storage for paint. I love being able to see all of my different colors. So I purchased a couple of them for my paint, and I just spread them out so that I can stack all of my paints up on it, and it works so great because I can see all the colors, and because it's vertical storage, it looks beautiful. Another vertical storage unit that you could use are the tiered trays. I love tiered trays because you can put all kinds of cute things in there like ribbon or paint itself again. And then another stacked item are the buckets and bars that you can purchase from Ikea. Now, I don't think they sell this particular brand anymore with these buckets, but I know they do have something similar to it in their kitchen section. I have been using these buckets for years. I can keep my scissors, all my sewing tools, pencils, pens. It's amazing. And it looks so beautiful. This is going to sound so weird, but trash cans are my next favorite. I love using the Rubbermaid trash cans because, first of all, they're super durable. A great base on them where they're able to stand up without tipping over. I also love that they have a handle, nice lip on the top of them so I can pick them up and move them around easily. So for me, I like to use my long, awkward things in my craft room to store in them. So for example, I use wrapping paper for one of them. And then another one is for all of my wood stakes. You can see tiki torches in there. Sometimes I keep a lot of wire type things in there like chicken wire and wood pieces, a pool noodle. These are so fantastic and they're super affordable, and you're able to store all of your stuff neatly and contained inside of these tubs. Definitely give these a try. Now let's talk about cute storage. What is a craft room without some cute things inside your craft room? I love vintage suitcases, and so I have one sitting in one of the corners of my room where I keep my sewing machine and all my sewing stuff, and I just simply rolled up fabric and tucked them in at different heights. I think this adds so much interest and color, and I love it. Another thing is using a Lazy Susan and getting some mason jars and separating out your buttons or your beads, whatever, by color. It's such a cute thing. Also, a basket filled with yarn, and most importantly, a vintage farmhouse plate holder. I love this storage because it's so cute, it's so different, and you would be surprised. Look at how many cool things I can store in here. Clipboards, my paper trimmer, stickers, stencil holders for being able to trace on shapes, and my plates for painting. It's fantastic for storage. I get asked a lot too about what tables I work on, and I have a very specific favorite because it's so affordable for crafters. I know a lot of us start off crafting at dining room tables or on the floors in different spaces in our homes looking for places to be creative. I found these long tabletop pieces from Ikea, and you're able to pick the length and the width of these that you want. They have them in black and white, and I think sometimes seasonally they bring in different odd colors, but in general I like the white ones. And what you do is you pick up the tabletop piece and then the legs. And depending on how long you get the table, you will need 4 legs or 5 for that stabilizing middle part of that table, a 5th leg. You can see here that I've just taken some fabric from an old sheet and I just stapled it around it to kind of clean it up a little bit. Is it perfect looking? No, it's definitely not. But you know what? It works so great for my craft room, and it keeps it so that I can store things underneath the table as well. You can see here that I've got one next to my desk that I keep my printer on. And then over at the table where I film, this is what it looks like on the underneath side. Here are the legs where you screw them up into the corners of those tabletop pieces. And I have 3 of these in my room. One that I film on for YouTube, one in my scrapbook area, and one over at my desk. They're so affordable. Definitely check those out. Where would we be in a craft room without bins and boxes, especially different sizes to hold all of our supplies? So the first one I want to talk about is this large white container from Ikea. Again, I'm going to link everything down below so I don't botch the names from Ikea. But these bins are very high quality. I love the handles on the sides. I love that it has a finger hold to pull it forward wherever you might put it. And I love that it has a lid. I keep these up above my pack system. I swear they designed them on purpose to fit up there perfectly. These are such great tubs because I can store any overflow or projects I'm working on in them. The next thing I love from Ikea are these fabric burlap boxes. They have the most beautiful storage handle pull on it where you can label inside the oval what you want to put on there. There's a little piece of paper that slips in it, but the little handle itself makes it so that you can pull them out. I think this is so high quality and they're just so beautifully well made. The inside has a pattern which is also really darling. I thought I would show that too. I use this to store a lot of my small craft things like the tumbling blocks. Then I want to talk about these tubs that you can get from Target. Target has a lot of really great hard plastic tubs that have all different shapes and sizes, and they also have all these pretty hole design patterns on them. So that way you can kind of see what's inside the tub without having to see what's inside the tub. And the last one I want to share are these containers from the Container Store. Now, I'm not going to lie, these were expensive. I paid about 50 bucks for each one of them, but I felt like it was valuable because storage to me is really important. I think we all kind of have our thing that we're willing to spend a little bit more on, and this was one of them for me. So they have these different size drawers, some that are wider, some that are smaller. They're pretty cool because you can mount them on the wall or stack them on top of each other or have them as individual units. I'm planning on using a bunch of scrapbook stuff in these really soon and organizing that. I'll share that on my channel later on. Now it's time for my favorite things. I get asked all the time, what are my favorite things? And these are them. I love using a cleaning caddy, and inside that cleaning caddy, it hosts so many important things to me. First, I have a flashlight because you never know, you got to be prepared if the power goes out. I've got a bucket from the Dollar Tree filled with popsicle sticks that I use all the time. I've got a stencil for when I'm designing and working on things. It has an X-Acto knife kit and a water spray bottle whenever I need to wet something or take off a tag that's being stubborn. And then on the other side, I've got my Crop-A-Dile, a whole bunch of scissors of different sizes. Can you tell I have a lot of scissors? I actually collect scissors. So I've got a whole bunch of different scissors in here, and then an actual kitchen knife that I use to cut my styrofoam. I also have all of my hot glue storage right here, so I can grab them. I just take them all out of the bag, and then I can reach and get them as I'm needing them. Now, this is my new hot glue gun. I got this for Christmas. It took forever to get a new one. Friends, I'm so ghetto. I just use the ones that are from Walmart that are like $4. I have people ask me all the time, what's my favorite hot glue gun? And it's whatever one is functioning is what I usually will say to people. But this new hot glue gun, I told my husband, I'm like, you know what? For Christmas, I would like a new hot glue gun. Again, I'll link it down below. Another thing I love is a large non-stick pizza pan. It is so great to put your hot glue on and all your tools on and work off of. When you purchase a heat gun, oh my word, friends, do not ever purchase one without a protective guard plastic tip on the front that keeps you from ever accidentally bumping the metal piece. that metal piece will burn you so bad and take off layers of skin. So make sure you get one that has a protective guard on it. And I love this one. I'll link it down below. Now this one, it doesn't really need any explanation, but I like Ryobi for my drills, and this is the one that I have. But I will say I love having more than one battery, so if it dies, I can switch it out easily. Next up, I know a lot of you have purchased this because I've seen it that, you know, you come in with comments saying that you bought one. I love using a miter box without having to use the scary power tools. This is a great option. Then I have a Dremel. I love this thing. It has all kinds of different heads and bits that you can use on it to be able to cut things or drill out things. Now, again, this is one of my favorites. All-time favorites is the Crop-A-Dile. I have been using this on here for a while, and I know many of you have bought it. I know a lot of you are always concerned if it's great for arthritis, and it is. There is a spring joint mechanism in it that allows you to go through metal, hard chipboard, cardboard, whatever. It's a really great tool, and it doesn't hurt your hand. And then you can see that here's another one. This is called the Big Bite. It's the bigger version of the Crop-A-Dile. This is my favorite paintbrush. I get these from Walmart. There's 2 in a pack. I get asked about this one all the time too. I love the big handle and the big bristle head. For my paper trimmer, this is my Fiskars paper trimmer. I'm a Fiskars girl. I love Fiskars scissors. I think they have high quality products, and I love that the blade is easily interchangeable, just pops right off, and then I can change out the blade when I need to. I really love this paper trimmer a lot. And then I have my tape gun. This is one that can be harder to find. I'm going to try to link one down below, but I love using a large tape gun instead of all the small adhesive packets. And then I have my paper towel roll. I know this is such a weird one to put on here, but I use paper towels like crazy in here, as well as wipies inside of this wipey storage box that I just got in the baby section at Target. Friends, I hope this answered a lot of your questions. I have been asked by so many of you, where do you get that? What are you using? What is that? Can you link it? I hope this gives you a great resource. Remember to check out my craft room tour if you're interested in that. And don't forget to click the subscribe button if you are returning or new, and give this video a thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks so much for stopping in, and until the next episode, bye friends.